For my second pick, KC, I'm going to one of the best games that we've got available to us this week. It's Colts and Titans, and I'm going to take the under of 50.5. This one is actually crept up. It opened at 49, and I actually liked it under 49. And so I wrote this up in my early lines column. And so when we're just talking about why we try to get on lines early, I'll admit I sort of have to take a loss because now I'm sitting with an under 49 ticket when I could have an under 50.5 ticket at BetMGM. But, them's the breaks. That's what we got to deal with sometimes in the gambling world. Why do I like the pick in general? Because these are two teams that not only want to live with the run, KC, but can live with it and win. And we've seen that from both of these teams, from the Titans going back to years ago, basically the beginning of the Derrick Henry owns the NFL era, and from the Colts really just over the last few weeks with Jonathan Taylor getting more significantly involved in the game plan. And so these are two teams that the stats tell you want to run the ball and can do so successfully. Let's start out with a great database that Ben Baldwin runs. It's a rushing and passing frequency database. And basically what we're looking at here is how often do teams throw the ball on early downs in neutral win probability situations. Both teams having at least a 20% win probability. The Titans, number one in run rate in those situations. The Colts are 14th in that, but bump it up to 30%. And now we see the Colts jump up to 10th while the Titans are still number one. This is a game that has bounced back and forth between either team being favored by 1 point. Right now it's Colts minus 1.5, and that's the largest spread we've seen in this game. So we're expecting this to be a close game. We're expecting both teams to be living in that minimum 30% win probability for the entire game. And so I think that means a lot of running on first down, a lot of running on second down, so long as they have a high success rate running the ball, teams both leaning on the run. And that leads to low-scoring games. It's a little bit different with these teams because you have a couple of running backs in Derrick Henry and Jonathan Taylor who can both break big plays, who can turn a run play into something like a pass play because of their breakaway ability. But I still think these are two teams that live with the run, that want to live with the run, and can do so successfully against the opposing defenses. And so that's why I think that it's a fun game. It's a close game. It's ultimately a game that's played in the mid to low 20s, not the low 30s or high 20s. And so I like it being under the 50.5 here.
I think it's interesting for the Titans is right now Derrick Henry is on pace for 507 touches this year. Nobody's ever done it. Yeah. He can do it. Look last week though. He has 86 yards, I believe it was rushing. He had 29 carries.
A lot of touches.
You think, and the touches, I think the touches, again, he's Derrick Henry, so nothing's going to surprise us what he does. But 507, nobody's ever done that. James Wilder, I believe, has the record right now in 1984. He had 492 touches, if I remember correctly. Nobody's ever got 500. He can do it, but can he do it at that elite level? And this is eventually going to start wearing him down. And when I see last week, I'm not saying he's wearing down, but it wouldn't surprise me if he's wearing down just a bit. And the thing is, if he wear down just a bit, he's so central to what they want to do offensively, central to who they are as an offense, that if he's wearing down at all, it just takes that cap of, okay, can this team be 27-31? I think if he's at 85%, 90%, I don't think they're there. I think their odds of getting up to 27-31, which I think it would need to happen for this thing to go over, would drop significantly, or at least notably. So I like it from that perspective too. I think Henry, like I said, is wearing down just a bit at this point.
Let me throw out a couple more stats before we move on. These ones coming from True Media. Colts are second in rush EPA. The Titans are ninth. The Colts are fourth in first downs per rush. The Titans also ninth in that as well. So again, two teams that want to run the ball and can do so, can win it running the ball. And that's the biggest reason why I think this game stays under